And our track action this evening starts with the women's 400 metres. 3 semi-finals. But amazingly, the world leader, Francina McCordery, not here because she was only 4th in the US Championships, a rare slip for a very consistently strong athlete, such as the US system. They've got 3 very, very talented runners representing them, and McCordery just misses out. She will be here for the relay, though. Non-starter, unfortunately, Joyce Sakari, the Kenyan who set a personal best in her heat, so she must have suffered some mishap there. So we start in lane 2, as we usually do here, this 9-lane track with Annalise Ruby, the Australian champion this season. She's brought her best down to 51.69. This is Libenia Grenot of Italy, European champion, actually represented Cuba, her native country, in the 2005 World Championships. Attained Italian citizenship in 2011. Claudia Gay, who will always be remembered for her fantastic final leg relay in the European Championships last year, brought France through from 4th to gold. But she set a personal best here in the heat, 50.89. Christine Day of Jamaica is the Commonwealth bronze medalist. Did that in Glasgow last year and has improved this season to 51.6. Jamaican champion. Shawnee Miller, immense talent. She won the World Junior title in 2010 when she was still a youth, in fact, and another 2 years in junior ranks. Won the World Youth title after that, and she was 4th in the World Championships at the senior level 2 years ago. We now slip to the lane 8 with Nadezhda Kotlярova of Russia, for a best of 51.42. European relay silver indoors this winter. And then Natasha Hastings, who also had a great junior career. She was world junior champion in 2004, collected 9 gold medals at various age groups in world championships, a lot of them on relay. She's been a vital member of the US relay squad and has made her way into the individual ranks. She was 2nd in this year's US championship. So that's the lineup in the first of these semi-finals. Two of the athletes originally in the field set PBs in qualifying, but Zakari doesn't run. Gay did 50.89. The 1 sub-50-second runner this year, Shawnee Miller, goes in 6th, also sub-50 at her best. Tasha Hastings goes in 9, nearest the camera here. So a bit of a hubbub in the stadium with a good field event performance. We now settle down for this first track race. Ruby, Grenot, Gay, Day, Miller, Kotlярova, Hastings. They go in the first of the semi-finals. Hastings running hard in that blind outside lane. And Shawnee Miller in lane 6 has got a good start with Christine Day. Not much to choose between them at the moment. Grenot has picked up a little bit on Ruby and Gay immediately either side of her, but Hastings still running strongly on that outside lane. And in the middle, Day in 5 and Miller in 6. Day in the Jamaican colours, just gaining a little ground on Miller now. Hastings also in there. It's these 3, I think, who are going to come into the straight pretty much abreast. The centre-lane athletes, though, getting a bit of an advantage now. The much taller Miller being challenged by Christine Day of Jamaica, but Miller now coming through, and Miller goes well clear of the rest of the field. Impressive turn of speed there. Then Day and Grenot getting 3rd place, with Gay 4th and Hastings, who went out so hard, slipping back to 5th there. And the winning time, very good one, 50.13 for Shawnee Miller, who just looked so impressive as she came away in the home straight after the athletes had seemed to be pretty level as they entered the home straight.
Really good performance there from the young Bahamian. She actually ran quite steadily for the first 150, and that may well have been one of the reasons why she pulled away from Christine Day and the rest of the field so impressively. She was easing up before the line, but still stripping distance. She was already glancing round at this stage. 50.12, that was an excellent performance. Christine Day, 50.82. Grenot was 3rd. Natasha Hastings drifted out to 5th, but she looked a little bit off colour in the heats, which is why she found herself in lane 9 in the first place. But the young Bahamian looks really, really dangerous here. That was a brilliant qualification.
Well, as you said, she started off slow, but that's a good way to run, really, in the qualifying round. You can see everybody else in front of you, take your time. And that last 100 metres, she really accelerated past everybody, which was a fantastic performance when you consider that the other athletes behind them were really dying.
Now to the second semi-final in the women's 400 metres. We have the reigning Commonwealth champion, McPherson, in 6, and the defending world champion, Uhuragu, in 7. Stellar lineups here. You'd expect nothing less from a World Championship semi-final. And as always, only the first 2 guaranteed a place in the big showdown. There's Phyllis Francis, very good American, qualified with 50.52, just a single hundredth outside her lifetime best. She's going to go in 4. Taking you through from the inside, Patricia Wysikiewicz, European junior gold medalist 2 years ago. 51.31, that was a personal best just to qualify for the semis. Outside her, Carlin Muir. This stadium will hold good memories. She made the semis here in Beijing in the Olympics. 4 times a national champion, season's best to make the semi-final lineup. Then Phyllis Francis, NCAA indoor champion last year, and running very close to lifetime best shape this year. And she'll have some very useful athletes outside her. Marie Gaillot made the semis in Moscow. She won the Paris Diamond League. That lifetime best also set in qualification here for the semi-finals. We've had brilliant times in the 400 from the men and the women. Stephanie Ann McPherson, one of the most consistent athletes in the world this year, the Commonwealth champion. Just missed a medal in Moscow. She was 4th. She's got a great chance here. And so too is this woman, Christina Uhuragu, Olympic champion in this stadium in Beijing and world champion for the 2nd time in Moscow 2 years ago. She hasn't sparkled yet this season, but so often she proves that she's got her best for the big final. And a very talented Nigerian outside Uhuragu in 8, Patience George. Relay silver medalist at the Commonwealth Games last year, 3rd in the African Championships. She'll be under pressure from the Jamaican and the Briton inside her and will need to start fast. And then on the outside, Yekaterina Razina, European under-23 silver medalist earlier this year, 2nd in the Russian Championships. So, the Commonwealth champion McPherson in 6, Uhuragu the defending world champion in 7, but watch out for Phyllis Francis of the United States. She's in your picture there, and she starts in lane 4. Real sense of expectation and anticipation gathering and growing here in the Bird's Nest Stadium. A cracking night of athletics in full flow. So who will be first into their running? Uhuragu traditionally starts fairly steadily. Francis going well, already making up ground on Gaillot, the Frenchwoman in the red. And McPherson closing in on Christina Uhuragu. Going well, 2nd from the outside is George. And a good run from Carlin Muir on the inside. George, the Nigerian. Christina Uhuragu now has McPherson on her shoulder. And the American Phyllis Francis with some work to do on the inside. It's McPherson, George and Uhuragu now starting to come through as she has a habit of doing, and also Phyllis Francis making a desperately late charge to get in the mix. It's Uhuragu from McPherson. Francis finished very quickly, but she'll have to wait to see if she goes through as a fastest loser. And once again, Christina Uhuragu is proving that she brings her best to the major occasions. That is a massive season's best.
Great run from her, really. She is a championship performer. I've said time and time again, what leads up to these championships sometimes doesn't matter, and we've seen it in so many of the athletes. They come here without the sort of form that you'd expect. But Christian Urugu there just shows her, this is where she's so strong. This last 100 metres, she has the power and she has the ability to come back at athletes and work her way through like she did here, and actually in the end win comfortably. Well, that's good for her, because not only is that the best time so far, but that's also going to give her a good lane draw for the final.
Yes, that's absolutely crucial. The finish from Francis may well see her through as a fastest loser, 50.50, and Patience George with a personal best, 50.76. A really good quality semi-final there. So impressive from Christina Urugu. The defending world champion is rounding into form with perfect timing, but first and second, Francis and George may well have a chance to go through as fastest losers.
Well, we're coming up now to the last of these semi-finals, and obviously one to watch is the great Allyson Felix from the United States there, going in lane 7. Well, 3 Olympic golds just in London 2012 alone. Winner of 8 World Championship titles. Outdoors, most of those at 200s and the relays. Now, if she does well here, she goes through to the final, and the possibility of winning her first outdoor 400-metre world title. Concentrated, obviously, in the past on the shorter distances and taking part in the great, obviously, American relay teams that win so consistently over those 4x400 metres. There's Sharika Jackson, second in the Jamaican Championship. She goes in 5 on her outside her teammate Noveline Williams-Mills, 8th times the Jamaican champion, world champion finalist back in 2007, 2009, 2011, 2013. But on the inside, Anika Anora of Great Britain, she got a personal best in the heat. So did so many of these athletes, really, with a time of 51.14. On her outside, this very experienced Kenyan, Maureen Mayo, second in the Kenyan Championships, another personal best in the heats for her as well, 51.40. And then this young Romanian who looked very good in qualifying, Bianca Razor, the under-23 European champion, knocked her personal best down from 51.31 to 50.37. And then the 2 Jamaicans, Sharika Jackson, as I said before, close to her personal best in the heat as well, just 21 years of age, second in their championships. She goes in lane 5. And then the perennial Noveline Williams-Mills, as I said before, second in her heat, 51.07, 8 times Jamaican champion. Just on her outside, and someone to chase is the great Allyson Felix with those white socks easy to pick out. Beautiful style, really smooth. This is something I've always wanted to see. Allyson Felix stretching out over 400 metres in the individual end. The American champion. First in her heat here, 50.60. And again, another young talent coming through from Zambia. Kabanga Mupopo was a footballer, decided then that she wanted to change when she discovered athletics, and since then has rocketed into international standard. On the outside, Natalia Pegina of the Ukraine, 2015 European indoor champion. So the camera concentrating on Jackson in lane 5, but the big 3, I suppose, will be Jackson in 5, Williams-Mills in 6, and Felix in 7. Not to mention, I suppose, the young Romanian Razor in 4. A few moments before the start now. Onura, Mayu, Razor, Jackson, Williams-Mills, Felix, and Lupopo, Pegina. Cleanly away. Well, Allyson Felix has shot off there, and she is storming around the first bend. She's closed up on Mupopo on the outside of her, fairly comfortably indeed. On the inside there, Jackson is catching up her teammate, Williams-Mills, also going well. Those two in the middle of our picture at the moment. But it looks at the moment as if Allyson Felix is storming away. The 2 Jamaicans are closing the gap now, Jackson and Williams-Mills, as they come around that bend. On the inside there, it is Jackson at the moment. That Lee's coming into the final straight. On the outside, Felix also running well. Felix just stretching out a little bit more now. Jackson trying to challenge her down the home straight. On the inside, Unura also running well for Great Britain. Jackson is trying to do it, but you can see that in the end, it's just Felix just opening her legs a little bit more, and the stride leg just carrying her through. So comfortable. Look at that time, 49.91.
Well, it was a fantastic display, really. She went off so very, very hard. She seemed to me to ease a little bit round the bend because she knew she wanted to keep something in reserve, and she just had enough in reserve to make sure that she won. And she's going to run a lot quicker than 49 and 89, in fact, it's been confirmed as.
I always wanted to see what she could do if she was pushed hard over a flat 400 metres. We might see that in the final, obviously. Marvellous run from Alison Felix and looking so comfortable. Can this woman dip under that 49 seconds in the final? We'll have to wait and see. She is capable, I think, of running so much faster. There it is, the winning time, 49.89. Sharika Jackson just behind her, and the Jamaican teammate Williams Mills getting those 3 places.
So that's how it looks in the semi-final. Felix, the one under 50 seconds, a whole lot just outside.